extinction, they reveal a great deal about the time and place in which they were found, studied, and put on display. Often paleontologists tasked with reconstructing the fragmentary remains of these animals have been guided in their pursuits by analogies to more familiar objects and circumstances. In the mid-19th century, the British anatomist Richard Owen modeled dinosaurs on pachyderms, such as the elephant, whereas early American paleontologists looked to the kangaroo as an anatomical guide. It was not until the turn of the 20th century that dinosaurs came to be seen as massive, hulking, and lumbering behemoths of prehistory. More recently, many museums have completely overhauled their aging dinosaur displays yet again to better reflect contemporary views of these creatures as bird-like, active, and fast-moving, with complex social structures. Dinosaurs simultaneously occupy two widely divergent temporal regimes. They hail from a world in which humans did not exist, yet they are also a product of human history. Dinosaurs tell us a great deal about ourselves. Their immense size and outlandish appearance all but ensured that dinosaurs would become a mass public spectacle. But the scarcity of their fragmentary remains and the vast temporal chasm that separates their world from ours meant that it was difficult to know much about these creatures with certainty. The mystery of what life might have been like during the depths of time allowed people to project their fears and anxieties as well as their hopes and fantasies onto these alien creatures. Taken together, these features helped to make dinosaurs into a favorite target for the philanthropic largesse of wealthy elites, which ensured that there would be plenty of resources devoted to the science of vertebrate paleontology. For all these reasons, dinosaurs allow the historian to assemble a remarkably vivid and rich snapshot of American culture during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the period in which they rose to immense prominence among scientists and the broader public alike. Although no shortage of ink has been spilled on dinosaurs, they remain a fresh source of historical insight. Indeed, the wealth of existing scholarship makes dinosaurs an especially rewarding topic of study, in that it invites a broader discussion that integrates their status as an object of technical knowledge with social, cultural, and economic history. That is the aim of this book. Specifically, I bring thematic and methodological insights from recent work on the history of capitalism to bear on the history of science, and vice versa. To that end, this book follows dinosaurs as they circulated across social, geographic, and institutional space in hopes of revealing some of the ways in which science and capitalism were mutually entangled in the late 19th and early 20th century United States. The time period I focus on covers roughly 5 decades, from the end of Reconstruction to the start of the Great Depression, a period I call the Long Gilded Age. This was a tumultuous chapter in U.S. history, and there is no doubt that a great many aspects of American culture and society were transformed in these decades. But there was a coherence to the period as well. During this time, financial elites like J.P. Morgan and industrialists like Andrew Carnegie rose to enormous power and influence, and they oversaw the transition of the country's political economy from an unruly and highly competitive form of proprietary capitalism to a more managed economy dominated by large corporate firms. This was precisely when dinosaurs from the American West became an icon of science, and the transition to corporate capitalism affected the practice of vertebrate paleontology in surprisingly concrete and far-reaching ways. Not only did dinosaurs reflect the obsession with all things big and powerful that prevailed at that time, but the science of paleontology itself was profoundly influenced by the creation of large, corporately organized, and bureaucratically managed museums of natural history. At first blush, dinosaurs may appear far removed from the political economy of modern capitalism. Unlike physics or chemistry, vertebrate paleontology did not yield practical insights that easily translated into lucrative investments or technological innovations. This is true despite the fact that paleontology was and remains closely tied to the